Hey everyone! In this video we're going to be breaking down the following typical themes of the Slav defense. How to deal with the interesting early queen b3 line, and also how to put pressure in the endgame by having the queenside majority. After that we will have a look on the bishop f5 sideline, which is meant to give us positions that are similar to the London system. And we're closing the video playing against the Fide master who went for the sneaky Levitsky attack. Okay, we're facing an international master. Let's try to defend our Slav defense, or maybe it's gonna be a London system. Would be interesting to see a London, but looks like we're gonna be having the Slav, and he's playing a queen b3 line against both queen b3 and queen c2. I like to take and just go bishop f5. Keep it simple. Go e6, bishop e7, knight d7, castle. This is just a reasonable setup for black. We're pretty easy equal game, I would say. Queen b3, just like queen b6, can swap queens. I'm fine with that. Yeah, taking on b3, I don't think knight c4 is a good move. Having this pawns looks kind of ugly to me at least, and considering bishop e4, trying to kill that bishop, there's no point in playing bishop c2 because he can easily defend that pawn. And I think just going bishop e4 might be good. Have to watch out for knight a5 though as an annoying move, but on like knight a5 there's just b6. And okay, knight e5 could simply trade off the bishops. We have like a really solid position. Could take on e5 as well. I don't really mind d that much. Can probably just go knight d5. Knight's heading towards b4. Yeah, e4, just knight b4 I thought. Knight c2 slash knight d3 ideas now. For example, bishop e3, maybe knight c2 is already strong. Has to go maybe rook c1, but take on e3 and I should be slightly better. Just bishop d2. I mean, could simply play rook d8. Then I'm afraid he wants to take and play rook d1 and knight d6 ideas. Maybe could throw in knight c2. And if like rook c1, knight d4 hitting b3, that perhaps could be annoying for my opponent. Yeah, hitting the pawn. In case of b4 we have knight b3, and that looks like really suspicious. I have bishop b4. Maybe he's okay after rook d3. Yeah, somehow barely surviving. If b5 he's got like knight d6 as a move, so we don't really gain much with that. Rook d8 though. And now we have all kinds of knight e2, knight b5 ideas that he has to watch out for. And on bishop e3 could do many things. Knight b5 is like this super solid way. And then rook d3. I kind of like that. Hitting the rook and then infiltrating. There's like no way for him to challenge this knight, and knight is defending pawn and we can like double up. Like rook d1 we don't take on b3 because of rook d7. And okay, he tries knight a5. Yeah, that's a bit of an annoying move, I have to say, because it's hitting this pawn. Forgot about knight a5, but maybe we could just play rook d7. I like rook d1, bring the rook. And I have bishop b4 ideas to get rid of the knight. Yes, he can never do that kind of tactic because can just take it simply. And okay, it felt like this should be slightly better for me always with 3 against 2. Yeah, like this way. And better pieces. Still not easy though to make progress. I guess should be bringing the king as well, having the rook defended, and maybe considering more active options such as bishop b4. Could do knight d4. Bishop takes, rook takes, king e3. You know, there's no, maybe just bring the king to c8 first, have this defended, and then we can start thinking about more like concrete moves. Okay, he can push, but doesn't really achieve anything, and thinking is well placed on c7, and we have knight d4 ideas. Yeah, he's just creating plenty of weaknesses, I would say. And now this seems to be pretty strong because he kind of has to take, I feel like, And then my rook is getting super active. Maybe he has rook c4 then as somewhat of an only move, but I still feel like it should be worse. And against this, this feels like really suspicious. Don't I have bishop b4? I like bishop d4, rook takes simply seems to be crashing. And if he likes moves the knight, then pawn on b3 is hanging, so I think we should be kind of winning now. But I will probably find a way to mess this one up, so still need to be fully focused. Okay, rook c4. I should have considered this move. Thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Okay, so like I can take, he takes with the bishop, there's b5 and I win. So after takes, he's forced to take with the rook. But then even those endgames I think should be kind of winning for me after takes and bishop b6. King e3, then I have like c5, c4 as an easy win. Yeah, let's just go for the super simple path. I think that should be enough. So like on king e3 I could take on d4 and I'm assuming that's also a win. But I think even better to play c5, bishop c3 and then pawn c4. Yeah, must be better. Take there next. I think can even pre-move it. There's like no way for him to create a passed pawn because we'll always have g6. Can maybe try something like that, some kind of crazy way to create counterplay, but it shouldn't objectively work. And okay, I know he's gonna be regaining the pawn, but we're still pushing here with our pawns. Maybe just a5. Could do bishop e3, which is maybe better. Taking way too much time on this. Has to take king b5 is not really achieving much, so just b5, I think. Pushing a5. Okay, on g5 always play this. Okay, this does feel winning. g5, this is important though. Only thing I have to watch out for. And now it's easy win. Yeah, just taking this way so that he doesn't create a passer, and he's simply down a pawn, and I have such an active king. Just slowly going to squeeze him. Actually looks like the a pawn is most likely going to queen. Could do a3, but he wants b3 and king b1. Okay, isn't that queening? I think it is. He should have played b3, but king c5 was still winning for me. Now there's no way to stop the pawn, and we do manage to get the resignation, which is pretty nice. I think that was actually like a pretty clean game. I don't know. We can have a look on it in the analysis tab. Maybe run like a game review quickly. Since we've got the rook trade, I feel from this point on I played really well. Let's check it. So okay, computer gives bishop b4. I think bringing the king to c7 is key. So then we can activate our pieces. Okay, f5 was definitely kind of dumb. It's not like he's threatening much with it. And yeah, like knight d4 already +1. If he takes, I think he's much worse. So he went there. And now, yeah, bishop b6, bishop king e3. So if I was thinking about bishop takes on d4 and king b6, I was thinking whether that's actually a win or not. Intuitively, I thought maybe raise with super precise play, but I wasn't like sure of it. And I feel like it should be good to just win this pawn, even though I've spotted that he's able to win it back. Here I also considered bishop c7, but I felt like bishop's kind of passive there, so maybe just even lose the tempo with bishop b6. Okay, computer likes king c5, which is a strange move for me. Like, what is the threat with king c5? I don't understand the threat. So, computer is actually playing for Zugzwang. Because after king c5, they'll play g6, and once the bishop moves, they want king d4. Okay, let's say it moves to b4, they want king d4. And if the king goes away, it goes king c4. Yeah, okay, I mean, this kind of Zugzwangs are not supernatural for me, so I'd just rather push my pawns. And yeah, it looks winning now after bishop d4 precisely. And b3 was like a quick win, I guess. g6 is like the human way of playing, and I could still do b3 always. Okay, I mean, this is easy win, like just bring the bishop and collect all the pawns. And he took and resigned, so okay. From the opening, queen b3. Yeah, bishop e4 was kind of dubious. Should have played knight d5. And in case of knight a5, we have rook f b8. Yeah, knight d5 is important. See that we're stopping bishop f4, because without knight d5, just let's say we play a random move, they can go knight f a5, and if we defend, there is this move. That's like really annoying. So I've seen this motif, and that's why I played bishop e4. So we can meet knight a5 with b6, and the pawn on c6 is defended by the bishop. But yeah, apparently just a bit inferior. Should have played knight d5, just restricting that. And in case of moves like rook e1, yeah, then apparently I can use the other knight to control e4. Could even play knight b4, and knight c2 seems to be pretty annoying. So black should definitely be doing well with this structure. You just have to watch out for this knight a5 idea, because if they get it in like good form, then your queen side is pretty much collapsing. So in the game though, I go like decent play after this e4 move that I think was not amazing. Opponent opens up with d4. He has a picture with Beth Harmon, so it's probably a good player. And we're gonna be going for the Slav defense. We see the two knights. This is playable. Yeah, I also recommend it to like students in general while you're trying to like keep this simpler, trying to make it like more London system thematic. There's a line when they can go cd, queen b3, and then important play bishop back to c8. Yeah, let's give it a try. I mean, again, I don't feel like many people go for that anyways. And against bishop g5, just e6, and we'll play with bishop e7. Okay, I think against this we just take back with the e-pawn, playing the Carlsbad structure, and going knight d7. Yeah, just developing bishop d3. We can trade. This is just like an easy path to equality. Could develop to d6. Could also just play bishop e7. I think I'm gonna go for the simple bishop e7 move, and then castling potentially with knight e4. Like knight e4 is maybe doable now. And okay, knight e4 d4, I think he is losing, so like knight e4 bishop e7 is sort of equal. So let's see, this is a pretty tricky move. Yeah, okay, this is just equal now with a knight on e4, and maybe slightly more pleasant for me with f5 ideas. He's going back, but just f5. If f3, can just take on d2 and play against the weak pawn. Yeah, being the rook. He's got the backward pawn. Definitely something we can play for. Maybe was a bit more precise to play queen g5, not allowing e4, but even here, like, we would trade twice, and d4 will be isolated pawn, so this doesn't solve all of white's issue. Another plan could be this and f4 with f3, but yeah, simply rook f1, and I think he's pretty safe there in general. So I think, yeah, like the most solid one is just to take twice, and probably still somewhere around equal. Can we realistically go for that with f4? That would be keeping it more interesting, but like rook f1 is so safe for him there. Yeah, I don't really believe in it. I'm gonna be taking, and I don't know how we can generate play. Maybe just by taking, and like rook e4, queen f7. Could also do queen d6. Okay, I feel like queen d6 trying to stop d5, and if we can stabilize and play against that pawn in the long run, it could be a little bit suffering for white, but I mean, objectively speaking, very hard to win this. Very, very hard, if like not impossible. I'll do knight f6, just trading both rooks. And okay, still probably just equal. Queen e3, knight f6. Yeah, we see it on the board. Knight e4, yeah, just trading. Could take and go king f7. He checks me on f5 and maybe king e7. Could be interesting. He can't take that pawn because I think we take on d4 and we're better. And okay, I mean, still endgame should be equal, but maybe by miracle we can win it if we trade queens or some unexpected mistake. But I think I don't really have that many risks in this position, and maybe I can go queen e6, and if like queen h7 we can pick up the pawn on a2. Maybe just has perpetual with queen f5, king e7, queen g5. That might be the case. Let's just play h6 or maybe g6. Maybe g6, yes. Okay, queen e6. Even like the end games I think are drawish, but we're trying, okay? It's not much, but it's honest work. I think king e3 is like the move. Okay, king e3 was not working. Okay, if I do king e7, he's got checks. He's got checks everywhere. Should try this and trade queens and bring my king to e6. That is like the plan. So king e6, king g5, how is that? King d5, king h6, king d4, king h7. That might be winning for him. Crap. Have to do this. Not allowing his king to enter, and okay, now king e6 next. Probably still drawish, but maybe by a miracle can win this. Do I want to play g5? Takes, king e4, king e6. I feel like it's a good move to include. I don't know. Maybe we don't have to. At this point, I'm just pretty much trying to guess what is like best move. Probably might end up being a draw anyways. Maybe I wasn't supposed to go g5. Just playing some intuitive moves. Okay, if a4, maybe b5. I think we might have got a little bit of play there. Still b5. Okay, b5, b4. Takes, king d6. Okay, b4, a4. King e3. Yeah, okay, that's not... we don't win there ever, right? Okay, probably just that draw anyways. He has to go b4. I think that's a mistake. No? Probably still a draw after king e3. So king e3, king d5. King d3, interesting. But here, and like king e3, maybe we can take and play king c4. That I thought we have king e4 winning. Don't we? I think we managed to trick him. But I think he just blundered for no reason. He can try b4, but ab and b4 is a win. Otherwise he's dropping this pawn. Yeah, easy win now. Kind of pushing e4 and winning this one. And we managed to somehow win the same game. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Okay, I'm actually happy about that win. It's not like every day you manage to win such end games, but I mean, we had no risk, so you just have to play it out and hope for the best. Facing a Fide master, and gonna be going for a 1d4 game and probably a Slav. Or some kind of strange bishop g5 move, why not? Against these lines, it's generally best to just go after the b2 pawn immediately. And that's what I'm doing. And then you can just play normal bishop f5, knight f6, pawn e6. Thing is, we don't really mind like him taking on f6, even though could start this way. But we don't care, that's like only helping us, improving the pawn structure. And watch out for this. Is he gonna take with the e-pawn? This is like a pretty standard theme from the London speedrun. And the rook is getting trapped. It's like pretty funny. Getting winning position in 10 moves as black against Fide master. I mean, I'm sure I'll find a way to misplay this, but let me enjoy my small theoretical win before we end up the game in a painful manner. So just bishop b2. taking on c1, collecting my free exchange. Could take 25 and play knight d7. Or knight e4. Could do rook c8. I like rook c8 with the idea that we're preparing knight d4 in some lines. Okay, opponent plays queen a3. That was a good move that I haven't taken into consideration, but I think queen a5 maybe. Queen a5, queen d6. Isn't there just like queen takes on c3 winning? I think that is winning. Because like what you don't want to do is take and move the knight because you're getting checkmated. Already this is how it starts. We're giving a little bit of counterplay. I'm not liking this, but I think it's all under control. Yeah, I think just queen a5 honestly, and then queen c7. That's like easiest. Yeah. Spent a little bit more time than I should on this move. I spent a minute on playing queen a5, but I just wanted to like double check and see if everything is okay. And yeah, like after the trade, I think it's pretty much an easy win with the extra exchange. I think just playing knight e4 followed by f6 is like a pretty good strategy here. Getting rid of the annoying knight. And whenever they go cd, bishop b5 check, we can go knight back. Here just taking with a bishop, keeping solid pawn structure, and f3 we can like drop the bishop. Could also go bishop b1. I'm sure this is what the engine would prefer because we're winning the pawns. So I think it makes also some sense. And like cd, there's actually maybe rook c1 to start with, and just an easier win. Go c5, you can just collect pawn on a2. If they check, there's knight back to c6. And on b4, I thought we have knight c4 and trading is fine. Yep, that is definitely an easy win. After the bishop trade, probably bringing king to d5, or I can get to support my pawns with b5. b5 is like an easy one. King d7 might be simpler, because like if they're trying rook c1, then b5 is still good enough. Same on king c3, because after they take, we've got take back, and I think just rook a8, rook a5, a6. And now I wanted to bring the rook this way, big threat, and if they bring the rook, just king e8. Could even play king c7, king b7, but now just rook c6, getting rid of the rook, and I think it's a pretty easy win. Now this rook is defending everything. Time to push pawns on that side, open up a new file and use this rook. Yeah, just g5 I think. Okay, g5 he wants f5, and if I take there is d5, so maybe should start f5 myself, stopping that dirty idea. f5, bishop h4, g5, pawn takes, bishop takes, rook g8, h4. Not sure I like it, but like here you can just go rook g8, is like the slower path, should be good enough. Yeah, just like g5 now, rook g8 next, and the easy win. So they do this, probably just f4 and rook f8, f3. That should be the way to go. Also another one is just bringing the rook around to e4. I have two ideas with this move. Yeah, gonna be using the simple one now. Okay, I mean, I said it's easy when like multiple times, and maybe it's not so easy, but after this move I think he shouldn't resist for long now. I don't think it was a good idea, but position was probably losing anyways. So king e6, rook e2, rook d7. Okay, I don't know. f4, king d5, rook f5, king e4, king e6 looks kind of good. Yeah, I think it's like easy win after this. Has to move the bishop and maybe rook d5, rook d3. Yeah, that's what I had in mind. And he doesn't have a lot of counterplay. Not that I can see, and this will be huge threat. Just taking, I think we can afford that. And yeah, rook d3 to b3. I think we might have even easier win now, by the way, among other things. Oh crap. Yeah, we'll have to play this. Okay, it's easy win though. Push c3 and then a5. Rook c2 only move. And now we get the two connected with an easy win. a6, rook takes on a6. I gave him check and king c2, but it's still lost. Okay, we'll do this like in the Chessbra video. Don't go for the mate, just go for the flag. That was a funny like video by Aman that he did. I mean, it was on his stream and they made like a YouTube short. It was like pretty funny. He had like the mate, but he just went for the flag, like brutal flag like this. But I think the game was converted pretty nicely. Thanks a lot for making it this far into the video, and if you're looking for more content, make sure to check out some of the previous episodes from the same series.